Welcome to My Favorite Bitch, where we talk openly about the good, the bad, and the oh my fucking god ugly of raising dogs, and sometimes other non-canine pets, including the human ones. We might talk about poop, and we might swear, so fair warning. Thanks for joining the pack. Now let's get this ball rolling. For a game of fetch, of course. Hey, everybody, welcome to My Favorite Bitch, the podcast where we share honest tales about the good, the bad, and the, I'm going to say no ugly of raising dogs and other pets, including our human ones. Today, I'm going to wax philosophical about why do we even have pets? What is it that compels us as human beings to have pets? I think about this a lot. I have pets. I've had pets for many years, cats, dogs, pretty much that's it. As do millions and millions of other people. And if you ever really just stop to think how weird it is that we as a species have domesticated animals for in many cases, some of course they have a specific work purpose. But in many, many cases, perhaps most cases, when it comes to pets like dogs, certainly cats, they're purely for companionship and for our own personal desires and needs, not because they provide food or because they provide labor like a workhorse or a donkey or an ox, but just purely out of need or want for companionship. It's a very weird thing, this whole idea of why we have pets when you think about it. Why am I thinking about this right now? I don't know. Yesterday I had an experience with my a Labrador Retriever Moxie. She's just about 9 months old right now. And it kind of struck me, and it's just the little things. It's nothing extraordinary, like, sometimes when she's being an asshole or like I want to throw her in front of a car or when she's just being like super like playful. This was just like a quiet, weird moment that really struck me. It started, I was sitting in my office. It was a Sunday morning and I was talking to a friend of mine and I hear just very, very faintly a little whine, a little doggy whimper, just very faint. If I were a man, I probably wouldn't even have reacted. And not because there's anything wrong with men. It's just that men can compartmentalize. I see how my husband just can kind of focus on something and he just doesn't hear anything that's going on around him. Women, I think, just evolutionarily are sort of wired to hear and pick up and pay attention to a lot of things around us. And so, of course, I picked up this very, very faint whimper that sounded like it was coming from our basement steps, which is outside of my office and down the hall a bit. And the door was closed. We have a basement door. The door is closed. And I knew that Moxie had been downstairs with my husband and his brother who was visiting. They were watching something on TV. She was hanging out. And I heard her and I figured, oh, she probably just got bored. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe she had to go potty. So I went down the hall, excused myself from my friend, went down the hall, let her up, and she went kind of into the foyer where our front door is. We have an opening to our living room and also an opening to our front door. So she was kind of in that corner area. So I thought, okay, she must have to go potty. So I reach up to get her little collar. We have an electronic fence, so she's got an e-collar. And then she just walked into the living room like, no, I don't really need to go outside. And then I thought, oh, I know what it is. She's tired and she now wants to come upstairs because maybe there's too much going on downstairs. Maybe the game is too loud. Maybe my husband and my brother-in-law were talking. Maybe she just doesn't feel as comfortable down there because she doesn't spend a lot of time down there in the man cave. But I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt, 100%, just from the little whimper, her wanting to come upstairs, she wanted to come up by mommy and she wanted mommy to settle in so she could take a nap. She was very tired, and it was kind of late in the morning. And normally on a weekday, she would have already been sleeping for maybe an hour by then. So I sat down on the couch with her because I knew that's what she wanted. If I'm up walking around, she'll want to be where I am. So if I went back to my office, she wants to be in the office. I'm cleaning something in the kitchen or making something. I knew she wanted mommy to just settle, and so she could sit down and take a nap someplace where she felt safe. She does this sometimes at night too. She likes to go with my husband downstairs, out into the patio, out into our front yard. He likes to go out at night where I'm kind of indoors. I'm an early bird going to bed. So I'm getting ready for bed and getting settled in. And if he's going to go out and maybe have a cigar or just listen to a podcast, and he'll take her out with him. But often, sometimes, as much as she loves going out there, and she would not say, take no for an answer. When he goes out, she's going out. But after a while, if she's really tired, she'll sit at the door and whine, and he lets her in. And I've come to know that that means I need to come inside with mommy because I'm tired and I just want to go to sleep. And mommy's going to go to sleep too. And that's my safe place. Not that she doesn't feel safe with my husband, but this is it's a ritual kind of a thing too, right? And it does warm my heart a little bit that she feels safe enough that she wants to come in and just be by her mommy. So this is what she was doing yesterday. And so we're sitting there on the couch, and she was, she sleeps all over. She'll sleep on the floor, on the carpet. She'll sleep. She has a bed, a little doggy bed in the living room. She'll sleep on that. She sleeps on the couch sometimes. And so this time she got up on the couch and she kind of snuggled right next to me. So she was sort of in a 90-degree angle with her tummy up, of course, because she wanted her to have her tummy pet. And she conked out. She just conked out, and she was sort of snuggled against me. And I just had such a warm feeling of love for her at that moment. Just that, feeling like, I have a responsibility for her, and I was so happy that I recognized that this is exactly what she wanted and needed. And I knew I could interpret knowing what she wanted, and I could comply and give her what she needed, which was a little safe, warm space to cuddle up in. And she snoozed. And when she's out, I can go to the bathroom and do some stuff, but it's just getting to that moment where she settles. And it kind of got me thinking. This is why I'm kind of waxing philosophical about this whole, why do we even have dogs? So here I have this 70-pound teenager, four-legged teenager, furry teenager. And I don't speak her language at all. I mean, she doesn't speak English or any other human language, has a language completely her own, uses senses that I don't have or don't have the capability of in her communication. So even by nature of biology, I don't have the same communication mechanisms that she does, or to the extent that she does, the sense of smell and hearing, that kind of thing. So we don't speak each other's language. We are a completely different species. She's not a working dog. She doesn't provide a working service for me. She's not a herding dog, or she's not pulling a sled. She's just completely there for companionship. And it's not like she does anything that, where I'm just like, when you date somebody and you think of all the things that attract you to that person, right? They're a great conversationalist. They're funny. They're fascinating. They're adventurous. Whatever it is your thing that attracts you to a human being. Some of those elements are there, but in a very different kind of a way. And it's just sort of a weird thing. We, as human beings, we over, tens of thousands of years have domesticated animals, and we keep them around by and large for companionship purposes mainly. Even dogs, many of them who have a purpose, a work purpose, a hunting dog or a herding dog, for example, often, probably most of the time, are still some sort of a family dog. They're part of the family. And it's just, and it's the same way with cats, probably even more so with cats, because cats are not, I mean, there really aren't, as far as I know, domesticated working cats, right? Like breeds that were made to, carry, pull small carts around. They just don't exist. They're there and they're very independent, even, even more so because you don't even get with a lot of cats that same level of response that you do with a dog. And yet, millions of people have cats and they love them. And one of the weird things is like you when you think about this idea that as humans, we, not that everybody loves pets, we know that's not true, but a lot of people do, right? That so many people have pets and it really transcends. It's not a cultural thing. It's not a thing of countries. It's not an age thing. So you have people of all cultures, young people, old people, people of all colors and backgrounds. It's not an economical thing. It's not something that only people who are well-to-do have pets. People who have nothing have pets. Homeless people sometimes have pets. Dogs, cats, whatever. So it's just a weird thing. And it seems so universal. And yet when you really look at it logically, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, it does emotionally make a great amount of sense. Like I said, I'm sitting on the couch. I'm having this moment where this four-legged creature that can't communicate with me in my own language and never will is causing this emotional reaction to me. And we know that from studies that petting animals, petting cats and dogs, can bring your stress levels down. And it's just such a weird thing. I mean, we get animals, they cost us a lot of money. Even if you're just talking the basics of food and your basic care, vaccinations, and a yearly trip to the vet, let alone if something happens, it's a lot of money. And yet people who are even people that don't have a lot of surplus income get pets. They're willing to make that sacrifice. And it's just, I have no explanation for why that is. I just know that the pets that I've had in my life, both dogs and cats, have provided something for me. Something. There is a payback. We millions and millions and millions of people, maybe billions, would not have domesticated animals as companions in their house, paying money for them, dealing with all the bullshit, them when they're being assholes or not being trained and dirtying up our house sometimes. We go through it all, we put up with it all. And we wouldn't do that if there wasn't some kind of a payback. So what's the payback? For me, it's purely emotional. It is a sense of responsibility. It's a sense of almost like, I mean, I don't have children of my own, but I imagine it's very similar. Like you go through, it's very painful sometimes to raise a pet. It's painful to raise kids. It's expensive. It's difficult. I've talked about my struggles with Moxie when she was a puppy, how I had borderline depression, and yet never in a million years would have given her up. And there is some sort of a payback, right? There is that there's a bond. It's a bond, and it's some sort of an emotional connection that somehow this furry, four-legged teenage bitch is dependent on me and looks at me, with love and however a dog can love, and I do believe that they can, but with love and with happiness to see you, right? There's the whole with dogs, especially. It's the um, who's more happy to see you when you come home than your dog? Nobody. Nobody in your family is happier to see you when you come home than your dog. So I don't know. I can't really explain it. I'm sure that there are people that have studied this, going back to evolution, how we domesticated wolves and cats in the first place. But I do find it fascinating that in spite of it being in many cases a hardship and a struggle and with very little, they're not going to take care of us when they grow older, and they're going to die young, right? We're going to have them for, if we're lucky, 12, 13, 14, 15 years. And then they're going to die prematurely. So you basically have children that are going to die before you. They're not going to take care of you when you get older. They're not going to go to college and make money and be able to support you in your old age. They're not going to have a conversation with you. They're not going to come over to dinner. They're not going to give you grandchildren, at least, unless you breed, in which case you're probably selling them or giving them away anyways. So what, it is a purely emotional companionship thing. But it is so real. It is so real, those moments when I just look down and there she is, and I'm just my heart is filled with joy that she feels safe enough to bare her belly and snuggle next to me, and that she knows that mommy is her safe place, and that she trusts me, and that she knows that daddy's her adventure, and that he'll play with her at any second. Those are enough. Those emotional feedbacks are enough. And I don't know, that's what keeps me coming back. That's why, after going through the horrible events of losing 2 dogs in about 6 months during COVID, that's why we are again with another one. So what are your reasons for having a pet? Have you ever thought about how crazy it is that you have this thing that you can't communicate with, who will not take care of you when you get older, you spend shitloads of money on? Why do you do that? What is in it for you? What are your feelings, as far as your bonding and your connection with your dog? I'm very interested to hear if you have a different thought than mine, if it's something beyond what I've talked about or different than what I've talked about. Thank you for listening. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Look me up. I'm out there on Instagram, TikTok. I'm out there on TikTok, TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, LinkedIn, less so on LinkedIn lately. I don't know. It just bores me a little bit sometimes. But listen to the credits and you'll see how to get in touch with me. You can always go to BethAnnCampbell.com. That's BethanE.com, Campbell.com, Campbell. Like 2 words, Campbell. You know what's funny about the word Campbell? If you're from certain parts of the country of the United States, you're a Campbell. Campbell, 2 words, camp like a summer camp, bell like I'm ringing a bell. I went to school with Campbells. But in other parts of the world, in the country, you're a Campbell. More traditional Scottish pronunciation, Campbell. I opted to go with Campbell, even though my husband pronounced his name Campbell when we first met, because I heard, I think, from him that if you're rich, you're a Campbell, and successful, you're a Campbell. If not, you're a Campbell. And I wanted to be rich and successful, so I just went with Campbell. Anyway, look me up, BethAnnCampbell.com. All of my connection information is there. I'd love to hear from you. So go and have a quiet moment with your pet and contemplate what it is that you love so much about them. When sometimes, to be honest, they're dicks, but you still love them. You still have those moments. What is it? Go think about it. And then go take a nap in a nice warm spot or go play some fetch. Take it easy. Thank you for joining My Favorite Bitch, where we don't hold back about what it's like to raise that little fucker of a pet. We hope you had fun. I'm your host, Beth Ann Campbell, and you can reach me on Instagram or Facebook as TheBean67. That's TheBeann 67. And also on Instagram as Moxie Blue Yule. That's my dog's site. She insisted. I'm also on LinkedIn as Beth Ann Campbell, that's Ann with an E, and check out my YouTube channel, Beth Ann Campbell, where you can find this podcast and other fun videos on the playlist My Favorite Bitch. Remember, we are not trained dog professionals in any way, so please consult the real experts and do your research on anything you hear on this program. We barely know what we're doing. Now go give your pet some snuggles, and we'll catch you after a good nap and some tasty treats. My Favorite Bitch is produced by Beth Ann Campbell and is a product of Beth Ann Campbell, LLC, all rights reserved. Go fetch Moxie. Good girl.